Alrighty, y'all. Hello. Who is hungry? Because we're going to be taking a look at what school lunches look like around the world. I think it's going to be pretty fascinating. I also think it's going to be a little eye-opening because I fully expect going in that if the U.S. is on here, it's going to be comical. It's going to be pretty funny. And I assume many different countries are going to have some very different and diverse lunches and most likely be, probably a step or two ahead of the U.S. lunches. That's just a prediction. I don't know. School lunch is kind of hard to define, right? I mean, it just depends on, what ages and, what school, what region, right? So, of course, these can differ. This may be a little bit of a generalization, but at least we'll get an idea. This is from Insider Food. It'll be linked in the description down below. Make sure to check them out. Here we go. It would actually help if I showed you guys, huh?
French students can expect up to a 4-course meal at lunch. They begin with a salad, a fresh veg, followed by quality protein like salmon with a side of roasted broccoli. They wouldn't be French without a course of soft cheeses, jam, and fresh bread. And kids finish with a sweet confection like marzipan before heading
Sorry, I don't know why this is on there.
back to class.
Okay, holy crap. We're only on the first one, France. 4-course meal? What?
Like salmon with a side of roasted broccoli.
Wow, that's real
Be
food.
French without a course of soft cheeses, jam, and
You're probably like, what is he talking about? Well, you'll see. The first thing I see is real food. And the reason why it's a big deal is because the American lunches are going to be most likely, it's like stuff with the barcode, right? It's all like prepackaged, colorful stuff. And this looks like actual real food, right? I will say that in the U.S., it just depends. I personally brought my lunch to school from home. So that, at least for a lot of the time, not all the time, but a lot of the time. And that's nice because, then you can have some real food or you can, control what you're eating. But yeah, I mean, if you got the school lunch, it varied, of course, but a lot of packaged stuff or a lot of like mac and cheese or cheese fries or, something, pizza. Yeah, that looks really interesting. Marzipan, it's like red and green, but it looks like bread inside. What? I'm going to look that up. What is marzipan candy? Is a confection consisting of sugar, honey, almond meal, and sometimes augmented with almond oil or extract. It shows it as like a lot of fruits. Yeah, I guess that's kind of like, these are kind of like the ones in the video, right? Wow. I wonder if that's something I've had and didn't know it. I wonder if I've had this. I really don't know, honestly. Anyway, pretty interesting.
In Japan, kids aren't served healthy meals. They serve them. To teach healthy cooking, kids take turns helping to cook, serve, and clean up for their peers. Meals are heavy on rice, vegetables, and fish.
Okay, that's cool. You got to respect that. That's really cool. They're like learning about the food. They're serving it. They're helping to prepare it and serve it.
And clean up for their peers. Meals are
and
heavy
clean
on
up.
rice,
That's really neat.
vegetables, and fish.
I mean, that's good. They're at school after all, right? And again, look at that. Real food of the earth.
Students in Nigeria
that looks
are fed
good
well-balanced
and
meals
healthy.
each day. Meals could include
Look at this
smoky,
too.
tomatoey jollof rice with chicken and steamed veg.
Oh my
Finland
God,
was the
I'm
first country in
jealous.
the world to provide free lunch to every
By the way, I'm not in school anymore, but I'm just saying, like, yeah, that would have been fun.
student, and the law ensures high nutrition
Look at
standards.
that.
Veggies like beetroot salad and roasted turnips take up at least half the plate. Starches and grains
It's
such
real
as crepe,
food,
double slightly
guys.
tart lingonberry jam take up 1/4, and a protein
That does not look like a school lunch from my perspective. When I think of school lunch, I don't picture a real plate of food. You know what I mean? Like, look at this well-rounded. Oh my God.
such as haranuko, a split pea soup topped with smoked ham takes up the other. Crisp bread is served on the side. In South Korea, students eat off steel trays sectioned out
That's
for
pretty
perfect
cool.
portion
I like
sizes.
that.
The bigger section is for rice, the circle holds soup, and the smaller portions are for tangy, spicy kimchi, some veggies, and meat like marinated strips of pork shoulder called jeokbokkeum.
That
With a large
looks
Orthodox
delicious,
population in
actually.
Ethiopia, meals are largely plant-based. An array
Wow.
of foods like spicy lentils, zucchini, and yellow split pea soup called
Oh my God.
kikolicha are eaten with injera, a fermented flatbread.
That's
Thanks
actually
to the island's
intriguing.
burgeoning farm-to-school
Very
program,
healthy again.
kids in Hawaii can expect meals made from scratch with local, fresh ingredients, such as
Well, there we go. The U.S. coming through a little bit. I mean, Hawaii, So interesting. I can't really relate to Hawaii. I've never even been there. Hawaii and Illinois are quite a world apart.
There's a chicken stir fry with
it's pretty
veggies
cool
and
to
fresh
hear.
baked bread on the side. Ukrainian kids get their lunch in 3 courses. First, a soup course such as borscht, a hearty beef-based soup with cabbage and red beets to give it a vibrant color, followed by meat and starch like grilled sausages with potato and cheese stuffed dumplings.
Can't
called
believe
brownie.
this is a school lunch.
They finish sweet with a shortbread biscuit. A lunch
Nice.
tray in the U.S.
Here we go.
Gooey grilled cheese.
Is everyone ready? Everyone ready? Now, this is going to vary a lot. I know the USA, and obviously that would go for any of these countries. Of course, it's hard to narrow it down, to one meal. So always take all this with a grain of salt. But
on crunchy whole grain bread with creamy tomato soup, carrot sticks, fruit like a box of raisins and an apple, and a brownie for dessert before.
What? Okay, so there's American. Okay, so part of what I said was true. This looks like a, well, maybe not. It kind of looks like a packaged brownie, which we definitely have those. So you take the package out. Okay, look at all the packaged stuff though, right? I see that right away. The apple, okay, that's good. There's a fruit in there, but just a couple of pieces of carrot or broccoli, if you're lucky. Not very common. Of course, some grilled cheese, brownie, and soup. I don't remember getting soup much, so that's a news to me. That's I don't think I ever saw that in school. Grilled cheese, even actually, maybe once in a blue moon. Honestly, what the scary part is, I don't really remember day to day. It was just always something similar to this. A couple bites of this, couple fries, fruit, right? Toast or bread. And then, of course, some sugary drink or milk. And, some packaged snack like raisins or whatever, right? It was just a bunch of packaged stuff. And yeah, quite frankly, it was pretty uninspiring. Not trying to rip on, but not very real compared to a lot of these choices that we saw so far in other countries.
But Italian students run to the cafeteria to receive a 2-course meal. And if these kids reside in Rome, the meal must by law be 70% organic. Primo is the pasta course, while protein and a veg like grilled chicken with a tasty mozzarella and tomato salad is served for secondo.
2-course meal. Look at this beauty. And it's mostly organic. Holy smokes. Now look at that. And look at the U.S. I'm sorry. It's not fair, right? Like, it's not even close, guys.
With a tasty mozzarella and
I'll take the Italy lunch every day over the U.S. one. Come on now.
According to the World Food Program, Thai students receive the most nutritional lunches in all of Asia.
That's
Kids
awesome.
can expect a balanced meal like grilled chicken, rice, and an antioxidant-packed spicy sweet green papaya salad.
Damn.
Families
Again,
in
that looks stellar.
Pay about 70 cents per day for children to receive a boxed lunch. Inside, kids can find rice, meat, and vegetables. Food is a constitutional right in Brazil, which means schools are required to provide students with healthy meals with 30% of ingredients sourced from local farmers.
Cool.
Kitchen staff cooks fresh foods like frittatas loaded with veggies, paired with hearty rice and beans, and a piece of fruit.
Again,
Kids in India
very
ship
nice.
to school with a tiffin box, a stackable metal container filled with a home-cooked meal. What's inside depends on the region. Northern Indian kids might enjoy parathas, seasoned flaky bread accompanied with bundi raita, crispy gram flour balls floating in a sea of spiced yogurt. Kids in Guatemala go home for lunch, where they'll eat dishes like pasta and a tomato sauce with beets and tortillas.
Well, you can't beat that. Good old home cooking, right?
With classes 6 days a week, school in Israel finishes before lunchtime, but kids do bring a shot isser, a morning meal, which could be a small snack like pita with hummus and a hard-boiled
yummy. Pita with hummus. I'll take that.
Kids in Trinidad and Tobago might be served rich and gelatinous oxtail stew for lunch paired with bussa, soft and flaky shreds of
by
fruit.
the way, shout out to Trinidad Bus Up right there. Oh my God. I have a friend from there who is in the U.S. From an old workplace I used to work at, and I have had the pleasure of purchasing homemade bus up from him, and I believe his grandmother. Trinidad special that we definitely can't find, here in the U.S. commonly. At least I've never found it until I met him. That is delicious. Absolutely delicious. Amazing.
Students in Hong Kong can expect a veggie like steamed broccoli alongside wok-fried pork slices and white rice. A kid in the UK might be served baked cod fingers with a hot jacket potato, a heaping side of beans, and a handful of chocolate biscuits for dessert.
Nice.
In Mexico, instead of a meal, kids might bring along
torta?
a snacks such as a torta, layered with spicy
There we go, Mexico.
Dip sliced ham, tomato, and fresh, crisp lettuce.
Hey, I love me some tortas, man. Those tortas slap. Just simple. Keep it simple like that. Love
Australian
a good
kids
torta.
eat lunch outside, bringing food from home or buying meals from a cafeteria or street vendor.
Australians eat outside?
Australian kids eat lunch outside, bringing food from home.
That's freaking cool. I mean, I shouldn't say it so shockingly. There are some, not common, but there are some schools in the U.S. where you eat outside for lunch. Yeah, Australia, they got awesome weather, right? Sunny, hot most of the time in most places, more so than, of course, the U.S., right? I love how TimTams are on the plate, by the way. Also, street vendors.
Or buying meals from a cafeteria or street vendor.
Do they have like a food truck at the school? If they do, you guys are hella lucky. That's freaking awesome.
Food can include classic takeaway comforts like a sausage roll, pork sausage wrapped snugly in puff
Love
pastry, with a couple sweet chocolate biscuits called TimTams for dessert.
Shout out to
Norwegian schools don't
TimTams.
have cafeterias, so kids bring a light lunch from home, which could include an open-faced sandwich with liverwurst, a sausage of pork liver blended with bold spices like cardamom, coriander, and mace. The meat's texture is almost spreadable, close to pate, and is accompanied by toppings like mustard and cheese. Milk and fresh fruit is provided by the school. Although students bring a home-cooked lunch daily, teachers in Pakistan are known to contact parents if meals don't err on the healthy side. Kids might bring a lugosht, a stew of lamb and potatoes paired with roti, and a sweet and creamy mango lassi in the summer.
Cool. Well, there it is. School lunches around the world, at least a little brief look into what they might look like. The food looked incredible and looked, a lot more real, a lot more fresh, organic, healthy, flavorful at the same time. A lot less processed and packaged. I don't know, right? Just throwing that out there. I feel like that was the theme. The U.S. one, unfortunately, it wasn't even that accurate, at least in my experience. Then again, I was in school 20, 15 years ago, whatever, depending on what grade you're talking about. But yeah, I mean, it might be different now. I don't know. These 2, 3, 4-course meals in some of these countries, just phenomenal, right? And I like how some of the countries, it's provided lunch guaranteed. They have locally sourced food. There has to be, a certain percentage organic, like all these different things. It's just really neat. And I mean, it is food you're intaking every day at school, right? Lunch is very important during your long school day. So, it should be taken seriously. And it is in a lot of places, but the good old U.S. food. Or in the U.S., you might even have these. You might even have some Lunchables in school. That's right, especially when you're a little younger. So there you go. Talk about fresh. You know what? These are tasty. I'm not going to rip on them. I had my fair share of these. But as I got older, into my teenage years, I was a little eerie out, after a while. So, yeah, you got this or you got this. So, I don't know. That was interesting. I can't wait to see your comments on this one. Please weigh in wherever you're watching from, what your school lunch experience was like. How was it? Was it semi-accurate or relatable to what was shown here? And at least how did it compare to what you've seen from U.S. school lunches? I would love to hear about it. Don't hold back. It's okay. But I survived. I'm here. And now I get to eat what I want, right? Because we love cooking at home, and that's the best option, especially if you're in the U.S. If you're in some of these other countries, you might get some nice, freshly cooked options. But it's not going to be as common, unfortunately, in the U.S. unless you take it into your own hands. I hope you enjoyed this one. Very insightful. I think these videos are always fun, and it's been a little bit since we did one of these. So throw a like on there if you did enjoy it and found it interesting. Subscribe to be part of this amazing community we do have here. Keep up your awesome suggestions. Click the join button to become a member for really, really cheap. We're getting a lot more lately. I can't not thank you enough. I hope I didn't make you too hungry with this. That's about it for this one. My name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker, and until next time, y'all, catch you later.